welcome to another episode of the Raheen Ashimi Show. Welcome to another episode of the Raheen Ashimi. Let me stop this music. The music don't want to stop this morning, but we're gonna stop it. There we go. There we go. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Raheen Ashimi Show. We got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. We got a couple of people that actually supposed to come in, so you also are welcome. You are welcome as well. Give us a call 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973, or simply request a link, and you can actually be a part of the broadcast as well. We love to have you. We're open and ready to deal with this topic. We're gonna be open and ready to deal with this topic, and the topic is it can be a very controversial one. It can be a very controversial one, but it's a question that needs to be asked. And you may be saying, well, what is the question? Well, I'm gonna tell you what the question is. The question is capitalism a form of racism? Is capitalism a form of racism? Want you to give us a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Let us know what you think about this whole topic. Is capitalism a form of racism? We would love to have your input. Again, give us a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973, or if you want to be a part of the broadcast, send me a request on Facebook or what have you. Send me a request for a copy of the link, so you can actually come in and be a part of the broadcast. We love to have you. Is capitalism a form of racism? Is capitalism a form of racism? What do you think? 973 678 381 1973. We got three or four things going on here. There we go. We got three or four things going on at one time. Y'all bear with me, man. I'm trying to multitasking. They say, brother got to do a lot of different things. So that's where we are right now. Is capitalism a form of racism? The capitalist society is what we live in here in America. It say that you have to maximize your own potential. You have to do for yourself. Supply and demand. Different things that they say. Supply and demand. There's a supply and demand. If you have a service, and you want to maximize on it. If you're the only one in that arena, if you're the only one that's providing that service, then you could charge what you want to charge for that service, and people would initially have to pay whatever it is that you're paying. Okay. People would have to pay whatever it is that you're paying, what you're charging for your service at that particular time. But on the other side of the coin, if you are in an arena that's very saturated, then you have to be very competitive with your prices. You have to be mindful that not everybody's going to pay what it is that you're requiring from that. Hey, Curtis, man, we would love to have you. Curtis Clement. This brother is actually running for sheriff here in Gwinnett County. Give us a call, Curtis, 678-381-1973. Sierra, you're welcome. You're more than welcome as well. So give us a call, 678-381-1973. We're asking the question. Is capitalism a form of racism? Give us a call, 678-381-1973. The phone lines are certainly open, and we're waiting to hear from you. And you know what? I was about to tell you exactly what I thought about the whole situation, but I'm gonna wait and hear from a few people first. I want to hear from a few people and see what y'all say. Whether y'all think capitalism is a form of racism. Are they holding us hostage with this capitalist in this capitalistic society? Is it one of the best societies that we have? Is it one of the best in the world? They say that what you can do in a capitalist society, you can dictate your own amount of money that you make, or whatever. They say you can actually dictate that. Don't know how true that is, because we got a lot of people here in America that's running around that don't have. Got a lot of people here in America that's running around that do not have in this capitalist society. Some would say that, well, the reason why they don't have is because they're not utilizing their full potential. They're not maximizing themselves. They're lazy. People, all kind of things. They say people are lazy, and one of the reasons why they're not able to do the things that they're supposed to do is because they are lazy. Is that the truth? Some people point the finger. Some people say, well, you got other people, some people that have better opportunities than everybody else. Well, aren't they in the same place as everybody else? Some people say, well, let's deal with the reality of the situation. People say you got certain people that there's a privilege that are in a situation where they could have white privilege. and because of the fact that they have white privilege, that they have a better start. They have a better startup. They have a better opportunity to get loans. They have a better opportunity to do a lot of the things that a lot of other people are not privileged to. Is that the truth? Is that really what's going on here in America? Is that really what's going on here in America? So we're asking the question: Is capitalism a form of racism? Let me read this thing. Text that. Okay. Okay. Somebody just sent me a message. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. I ran across a YouTube video. Let me see. Can I pull this YouTube video up? And it's actually talking about capitalism. And what is capitalism. So I'm going in the meantime, while I'm waiting on everybody to come in, while I'm waiting on your phone calls, I'm going to play this video. And what is capitalism is what I'm and tell me what you think about what they say it is. The video is not that long. Let me I want to get a shorter one. I don't want to get no real long video because we don't need to do all that. Let me see this one right here. Let's do this one right here. Let me mute.
What is capitalism?
Here you go. Listen to this.
It's all about supply and demand, freedom, choice, and incentive. So, supply and demand is how capitalism sets prices. If you are selling something, you can charge any price you like for it. But if you're buying something, you can pay what you like for it too. So the actual price is what the seller and the buyer both agree on. What that normally means is that rare things are worth a lot of money. Lots of places sell apples. If someone tries to make me pay a fiver for an apple, I'll just go somewhere else. Apple computers, though, are expensive. I can't buy them cheaper. So it's a choice of paying what the seller wants or just not having one. The same is true of skills. If I can do something nobody else can, I can charge a lot for my time. If anyone can do my job, it's harder to get paid a lot. At the heart of capitalism, then, is freedom. Nobody can tell you what to do to earn money, nor how to spend it. It's entirely up to you. This creates a vast range of choice. You create your own path. By choosing education and training, you might be able to get a better paid job in the future. Or you can start working whichever sector you want to. Fans of capitalism say it works because of incentives. You want more money, so you'll be more inventive, either to make something new and desirable, or to cut the costs on existing products, making them cheaper. So, both of these things are good for everybody else. You are rewarded with more profit, and both you and the consumer are better.
Doing? Mr. Neil, how you doing, sir? Can you
How
hear
you
me?
doing? How's
Yeah,
everybody?
you
Yes,
doing
sir. Can
good.
you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's you and I right now. Got a few other people that's supposed to be coming in, man. We're waiting on them to
Good
come in.
morning.
And so what it
Okay.
is, we're, we're, we're,
Okay. No problem.
we're talking about capitalism. Capitalism a form of racism? Is capitalism a form of racism? Ricky, what do you say to that?
I definitely think so because see, you think about what from the money aspect of it, it's definitely anything that controls money controls the power.
Mm-hmm.
When it controls the power, it controls the people. So I definitely believe that capitalism has a plays a part in it as well as in the heart and also the money as well. So, but the money it's a very very powerful element that play a part in that. It's very very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Now, some people say in the video that I just played a minute ago, it was saying that it was talking about how if you have a service, a product or a service, and there's other people that have that same product and that same service, you have to be
Mhm.
you have to be real mindful as to what you charge. You have to be real competitive. But if you're the only one that provided that service, if you're the only plumber in town, then you could charge for plumbing anything that you want to charge. Um, how
Right.
how does that play in regards to this racism thing?
Well, it's just like if you think about gas prices. Just take gas prices for example. Okay, up here where we are, you know, we can go in. We can actually see the difference of about 20 cents when you go from here to say to Stone Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a There's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big. So right there alone, that's a manipulation of the power there as well. So we have to be careful about that because that's one of the things that we don't look at because we might say like where you and I are in the Gwinnett County area.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that Gwinnett County is supposed to be one of the richest counties in Georgia, but the gas prices are lower in Gwinnett County than
Mm-hmm.
they are in Atlanta and
Mm-hmm.
Fulton County.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you see the discrepancy there. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a big discrepancy there. So that's telling us that that's a they can say, well, oh, because I've heard people say, well, it's harder for us to deliver the gas. Like, how is it hard for you to deliver gas that you live everywhere else? It makes no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're trained to do. That's what
Yeah.
you're supposed to do. You're supposed to accommodate these people. You're supposed to service these people. But
Exactly.
like I say, I'm saying it because I'm in Atlanta every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I see the difference in the prices. I'm talking about 20 cents. That's a lot of money. You talk about
That's a lot of money.
gallon wise, that's a lot of money. You're talking about, well, we might pay, say, with my car, I use premium.
Mm-hmm.
I use the best they got. I'm
Yeah.
crying about 269, but I go down to Atlanta and I see 319.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Easy.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you saying that how do these people here supposed to be the low income housing and the low paying jobs? Why the gas prices are higher than ours when we're supposed to be the richest county in one of the richest counties in Georgia? That's
Exactly.
condescending to me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. We got a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is human.
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Donna, we're talking about, is capitalism a form of racism? Is capitalism a form of racism? Donna, what do you say to that?
I just all up, man. You know, um, uh, let me not try to be smart. Explain capitalism to me, and then I'll be more familiar with racism because I know that for what it is.
Yes, sir. I'm going to pass the ball over to because he's better explaining this thing than I am.
Yeah, explain that to me.
Ricky, explain capitalism to him.
All right, capitalism is basically the motorhead of the money itself, meaning that what it does is that it gives you the overhead of how much you make, how much you gain, and how much that you'll be able to dictate what goes out, and
Mhm.
and also what are you taking in. It's almost like checks and balances almost.
Yeah, yeah,
That's about the best way to put it. That's about the best way to put it.
yeah,
Everybody
exactly.
else might have more technical words about it, and they might say, "Well, it's not that." But it basically, at the end of the day, it's about checks and balances.
Hmm.
It's about who has money and who doesn't. Period.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so here's how we come up with where we are now. Those that have uh, manipulated things to get it the way that it is. Some people, because of uh, them having brought people into a point that they felt like they were uh, inferior to them. It made them work for a bunch of nothing
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to get America right where we are.
Come on.
And so their children are the beneficiaries of it, while some of ours, or I don't like to use the word victim because I'm not a victim of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Just open the door and I get it myself, but the door is closed
Mm-hmm.
to some of the opportunities because um, those that have get ahead of the program. You understand what I mean? Does
Mm-hmm.
that make any sense?
Okay.
So I guess, in a sense, if you really look at it, yeah, it has a sense of it. It has a smell of it. I tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ricky, what do you think? Because some people say that it has a lot to do with privilege and certain individuals that have privileges here in America that get a better opportunity to be successful than others. Do you think does that play any part in it at all?
Oh, economically, yeah, your economical background definitely plays a part. And I mean, case in point, think about the cheating scandal that they were seeing here in Atlanta. Remember
Mm-hmm.
when all those teachers went to jail? Now they had
Yeah.
something similar to that right in Athens, and let me tell you, uh, and sometimes it has to do with race as well. When you're talking about stimulus racism, it does it as well because at the same token, you got to realize that they actually let those white teachers go with probation and kept the teacher's license, where these people actually did doing prison time, and they're
Mm-hmm.
strict to the teacher's license. And then number two, when you think about it from the standpoint of the ones that those remember those movie stars who paid for their kids to be enrolled into some of these not predominant but prestigious colleges, and
Mm-hmm.
they were paying 250 and we is not saying that we don't have the resources, but we're not even I want to say we are not even asked about those reasons. We're not even asked about those kind of things. Some things we just not we're not even privy to. We're not even thought of in those kind of matters. They be like, well, even though we might have the money, they still say, well, your kid need to have these SATs in order to get in here because that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So money does economics plays a big part. And that's the reason why capitalism is part of is under economic structure because what it does is that it gives the people who it's I can tell you uh, the biggest stimulate racism thing that you really want to think about it from this perspective. Look at how slavery was
Mm-hmm.
and how economically it was for the plantation owners.
Mm-hmm.
How they didn't want to give it up. So that's probably one of the biggest things you can look at it from and say, wow, you know what? I never really thought I was looking at it as slavery. But if you look at it, the capitalism was how much money it was bringing in from the cotton industry and from the tobacco
Mm-hmm.
industry and from the produce industry, from peas and potatoes and things of that nature. All those things that was coming in, you got to think. Only thing they had to pay for was the slave and the seeds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything else was you gotta think they was getting maybe you know how you say man I make 100% profit. You gotta think they may be making two five
Mm.
thousand percent profit.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly, exactly. And the phone lines are open. I see my Shannon Griffin. If you get an opportunity, give us a call. We love to have your input on this. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Again, 678-381-1973. We're talking about is capitalism a form of racism? So we're going to actually scroll the number across the screen so people can see that as well. So Donna, what's on your heart right now? Talk to me, Donald. Too salt. Wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. He's
I'm
actually
sorry. Yeah, I got a call came in.
okay. There you go.
Come back.
Come back to you. Okay, good deal. Now, again, the number is 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Phone lines are open. Want to hear your input. What do you say to them? Some people may not agree. Some people may agree. Some people may not agree that maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It depends on, I guess, the individual and where they stand or their status, where they are.
Right.
Because because a lot of people, if it's benefiting you, you're not gonna talk about it. You're not gonna talk against what's putting food on your table. So go ahead, Ricky.
It's, I mean it's just like white privilege. You know, people don't really think about it until to in some kind of way they're they're uh, they're infected by it in some kind of way. Case in
Mm-hmm.
point, uh, when you and I were talking earlier, and I was telling you I texted you this morning, told you about the situation that was at my job.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, now here it is that we've been working through this whole pandemic, the whole entire pandemic.
Yeah.
We haven't had any issues
Mm-hmm.
that we know of. I put like that we know of. I'm not
There we go.
saying that had not been that we know of,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing about it is that what's now that this has actually hit the front door, meaning that it's actually knocking on the door, like, hey, let me in. Now that they want to address it when certain things that could have been put in place beforehand. And like I said, if it's something that's not going to affect you, you probably you're not gonna take it as serious. You're gonna look at it as well, it might not be that bad. But when
Mm-hmm.
you come to a point that once you get to a point that it actually affects your bottom line, then
Yes,
it's
sir.
really it's become to be an issue. And that's how it is. And sometimes we have to look as people. We have to stop looking and being more empathetic and sympathetic of people when they're talking to you. Because sometimes when they're talking to you, they're not just talking to you because they're having some kind of. Sometimes they think we have a behavior problem. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's a mad black man. That's an angry sister. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's because that what comes off of you is frustration.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when you're talking about capitalism, you got to think it's frustration because you're looking at, like I said, like you heard me say in my text. I said, man, it's profitable people.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, think about it. That's capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
That's another good example. That's capitalism because they feel like, shoot, as long as my bottom line been made, I don't care what happens.
Exactly. Exactly. And if it's not hurting me or the people that's close to me, it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter at all. Don, are you back with us?
Yeah, yeah. So an economic political system in which the country's trade or industry are controlled by private owners rather than by the state.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can you imagine if I had control of things, which some do. That's why. Uh, have you ever seen in your life?
To have. Let me just talk about 45. You ever seen anybody? I don't know if it's legal or not. Have his whole family working in the White House.
Mm.
Have you ever seen something like that?
No. No. I'm thinking that's supposed to be some form of a nepotism, isn't it? Nepotism. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Nepotism. Yeah.
nepotism.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and then and is a form of something. But, and we don't want nobody wants to be make it fair across the plane. And when you do, and you point it out for what it is, and most of the time it is because of race.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say that, oh, that's all y'all want to talk about. Well, no. See, what happens with us a lot of times is we just want to be treated fair.
Yeah.
We don't want to be above anybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
make the playing field plain.
And
Now,
let me
you
say
know,
let me say this to that. I want to say this right. I did a video last week. I did a video last week, and because there's an apostle. And I'm not gonna call his name. He know who he is. He's probably listening right now too. And he was talking about how Black Lives Matter. Somebody put Black Lives Matter on the timeline, on my timeline, and he responded talking about all lives matter. And yeah, he responded to my all lives matter. This is an apostle. He know. Again, he may be listening right now. He know who it is. And if you're listening, if if you feel it, brother, call in. You know who I'm talking to. If you feel it, call in. But I did a post. I said, let me explain something to you. I want to explain something to you. I did a little video, and it says that if you got two daughters, y'all might have saw. If you got two daughters that's going on field trips, they're going on field trips. One is going with one class, and the other one's going another class with totally different sides of the spectrum. And you call one about 4 or 5 hours later. You call one and you say, "Well, look at here. How you doing? Is everything okay?" She answers the phone and said, "Yeah, daddy." And you ask, you said, "Well, look, have you eaten?" And she said, "Yeah, we ate about 2 or 3 times." I said, "Oh, okay. Hang up the phone. You feel good." You call your other daughter, right after her. You call her. You say, "Look at here. Is everything okay?" And you could tell in your daughter, you could tell that something ain't right. And you say, "Well, what's wrong?" And then she say, "Daddy, I'm hungry." And you were like, "Hold on, it's been 5 or 6 hours. You haven't eaten. They ain't fed you." Nah. What you're going to do as a parent, what you're going to do, you're going to stop what you're doing. You're going to do one or two things. Either you're going to take her some food, or you're going to go get your child, bring her home, and feed her on the way back home to make sure your child eating. And I told him, I said, that does not mean that the first daughter that has eaten was more important than the second daughter. What it means is that the second daughter had a need. And because of the fact that the second daughter had a need, you are going to feed that need. That's what we're talking about when it's talking about Black Lives Matter. We're not saying that everybody doesn't matter. Of course, we know everybody matter, but we also know that there's a need in the Black community that come on, Ricky. I see you, brother. Come on. There's a need in the Black community. And because of the fact there's a need in the Black community, we're the one that's being shot down in the street by the police that's supposed to serve and protect us. We're the one that's being given the bottom of the barrel when there's nothing left, and we have to dig out trying to find something to make our way. We're the one they talk about pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and we don't have the bootstrap to pull ourselves up on. Ricky, talk to me, man. Stop me, man. Talk to me.
I mean, I just think it's very, very interesting that. I mean, I understand what he's trying to convey. That he's saying that we all should love one another. But at the end of the day, I mean, you got to understand something. That, I told you this last week. I said it's a difference between they've been handcuffs and we're going in coffins.
Come on.
So I'm just gonna say it that way. So that if anything happens, let's wait it to handcuffs and coffins. Period.
Yeah.
You gotta think. We are the ones that even through this pandemic, you think about the mistreatment that we're getting. It's like the young man they were showing in Colorado. They showed him 20 minutes prior to him being attacked by the police officers. That he actually purchased some things from the store. And by him being autistic, he was trying to say he really didn't grasp what was going on. And my thing is that for them to say for the when 911 caller say it's a young black male out here acting suspicious when this man is doing him a walking home with now think about it, he's walking home now. Walking home with the groceries.
Yeah.
So you telling me how suspicious is that? So my thing is that I understand what he's trying to say because that's what you have to say biblically. I got that. But heart to heart, let's be fair about this thing. They are being handcuffed and we are being placed in coffins.
Come on.
Period. There's no other way around it. Let's stop playing this game about, we all got to do. No, let's be fair. Let's call it for what it is. If a spade, call it a spade. Do not, walk and talk and even waddle and even swims like a duck. It's a duck.
It's a duck. Ain't
no
around it. Kimberly,
around it.
Exactly. Kimberly, I see you over there. Kimberly, if you get an opportunity, give us a call, 678-381-1973. Kimberly said, yes, it is. Kimberly said, yes, it is. Capitalism is a form of racism. So, sister, if you're available, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Donna, what's on your heart?
Hey, you know, it's kind of
how those that are that knows the system beat it half to death to actually commit crime. When if you do the same crime, you might spend life.
Yeah.
And then if the laws catch them red-handed, they change the law. Why is it that they had not arrested I don't mind saying it, the president for citing riots?
Exactly.
For there are some people that egg stuff on. They don't do anything. They just make they say certain things. He points to rise up white supremacists and the KKK. How is it that a terrorist group known clearly, without a shadow of a doubt, have been terrorizing people for years? Anybody that they don't like, it don't have to be black, it has to be gay or Jews or anybody that is not the superior thinking race they think they are. Why is it that they can burn the places down and then they can have a march and the police protect them, but we have a police riot and you're throwing rubber bullets on us? What's wrong? What's going on with that?
Something ain't right with their picture, is it? Something ain't right with their picture.
It just don't add up.
It don't add up. Exactly. We got a phone call, 678. We got a call. I'm sorry. We got a caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Kimberly McNarian, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Hey, Kimberly, how you doing?
I'm well. Good morning, family.
Good morning. Good to have you, sister. Glad you called in. We're asking the question: is capitalism a form of racism? Is capitalism a form of racism? Kimberly, what would you say to that?
I would say, of course, it is. And it is a horrible form of racism because it invites you to play a part in your own demise. And I think that is why the Black communities are suffering. So, because first of all, integration caused us to have to move into a place of survival. And it says that you can't be with the people you love. You can't be seen with your own people. If you do, then that, you know, you're either rioting or you're doing something evil, just like the way they disenfranchised us during slavery. They said you couldn't congregate, you know, outside of church. And even that was, you know, regulated. So again, once you start telling us that we can't be around each other, we can't spend money with each other, you know, in order for you to survive, you can't even love yourself or anybody who looks like you. And then somebody says the words black on black crime. No, you created black on black crime. You told us it was a crime for us to be together. Now we kill one another.
Wow. Wow. Ricky, what's on your heart, brother? I know your passion in regards to where we are right now. What's on your heart, brother?
I mean, what the dear sister is saying is so true, is that we have to look at the root of what are the problem. And I think sometimes we kind of, I want to say we don't sugarcoat it, but as long as that we don't look at the bottom line of it. And sometimes it's because we don't want to educate ourselves about what's happening to us. And the first thing that we need to do, like she said, the separation of you got to think of it different. When you had I remember when you had about a year ago, you had a panel. You were talking about the separation of the kids, the DACA kids that was being put into concentration camps when they came across the border. I had to inform y'all that America has always done. She's always done it. Back in slavery, how she separated us from our families, and like when she's saying, made a lot of sense, because that's what is happening, is that they've never been family oriented. She's never been family oriented. She's always been a device of decisiveness and separation at all times. And something that Deacon always told me, he said, when people want to separate you, that means the devil's in the middle, because he don't want y'all to get together, because he know that once you get together, that God is going to put you together, and it's going to be as one, and it's a unit that no man can take under. And that's what's happening. We have been separated for so long from each other, and even now, I talk with some of the brothers, and I tell them all the time, I said, you know why we work so hard not to be in poverty? Because we know how it tastes and how it feels. So a lot of times we do run out of the areas that we grew up in. And I don't like using the word hood. And I tell people, I say, when you use the word hood, think about what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I say, understand is what you're speaking into your lives. You're speaking hood. I'm from a neighborhood. What I did, I'm from a place where my mother could afford for me to grow up in. So I double salute her for giving me that opportunity. So when we start removing some of these words from our vocabulary about, oh, I'm from the hood. Yeah, you from the hood. I'm not from there. That's not my thing. So we have to understand that that's a separation. Once again, that's another separation, because what they say, I don't want to be around no hood dude, or I don't want to be around a hood girl. So they've already separated us again, because now we think that we're better than that other person. And again, it goes by the economics. It goes by the economics again. Like you just said about capitalism, it goes back to it. Because what was the projects really designed to do? It was designed, at first you got to think, it was designed for the Irish. I mean, let's do the history of it. When the Irish came here, they flooded New York, and they put them in a certain area, and that was called the projects. But what ended up happening was that as blacks came from down south, they came up north. They started living these affordable housing. And what happened was the average moved out, but the blacks ended up staying. And then once the blacks ended up staying, then what they do, they took the money out of those house development projects that they call. That's why it was called the house development projects. Look it up. That's what it was called. So what they ended up doing, once they withdrew the money, again, it goes back to capitalism, which is the money. When they withdrew the money, what did they do? They said, okay, well, now we're going to make them into slums. Now we're going to put these people in these unhumane conditions. Now that's what's happening. So now you look back and you say, man, how do we get out of this? We get out of this by we both got to walk together. We cannot walk. Nobody can walk in front of me and leave me there. And a lot of time that's what's happening. And she said it's so true. The separation is what's really one of the most destructive devices that devil has ever created, is that make us seem like we are not worthy of God's calling.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why they wouldn't let us go to church.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Donald, what's on your heart, brother? Hey man, this thing getting good, man. It's getting good. What's on your heart, Donald? Toussaint, you there?
You know, you know how you can. Another thing is to manipulate words.
We could barely hear you, Donald. We could barely hear you, brother.
I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to multitask.
I got you.
But you know how we manipulate words,
Mm-hmm.
and these politicians and lawyers are good at it. And then we utilize the platforms that we have to kind of. I saw. I think they had videotaped the Congress sessions, and you look at how the Democrats and the Republicans they talk and they try to make what they especially when you look at the same thing, and it's kind of like CNN and Fox point of view. And there's nothing but the way they say it. You understand what I mean?
Uh-huh.
They manipulate words to make themselves seem right when it's all wrong. Like when all we say is a simple phrase like, "Hey," like you pointed out, Black Lives Matter. I'm not saying like that. I'm not. Don't manipulate what I'm saying into make me feel like I want some pity from you. I don't want anything from you. I'm just telling you, we've been abused for so long as a people. I don't even understand why. Because what you have been getting away with for so long, it's on the forefront and everybody see it. So now you're using words again.
Come on.
To make it seem like, hey, it's just not like that. You know, police lives matter too. Using words.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We see that police have been doing this for a long time, years and years and years. Actually, when it first started, the police department, it was to get slaves back. But you're trying to apprehend them. You're killing them in the streets.
Exactly. Kimberly, what's on your heart? Kimberly, are you there? Okay. Ricky, what's on your heart, brother?
I mean, what he's saying is so true, and it's funny when I hear people say all lives matter, but it's funny that not all lives matter now. Is that the case? Why do we have the same signs we were holding up in 2020 we was holding up in 1940, 1920, 1960? Why are we holding these same signs up if all lives matter? I mean, somebody need to explain that to me. I'm a little confused. How do
Exactly.
all of a sudden, how these lives, all of a sudden, all lives matter? No, what happened was, like Donald said earlier, you got caught. You finally got caught. You finally got caught. And what happened was the people has responded. There's a new generation. And what's happening is that a lot of those people who benefit from systemic racism, they're dying off now. Now their grandkids are involved, and their grandkids are seeing something totally different. So now it's like, wait a minute, we're losing the power. No, now all of a sudden, all lives matter. No, it doesn't. It never did. Come on, don't patronize me. That's insulting to me to tell me that when you know that, because again, they're getting handcuffs. How you gonna take Dylan Ross to Burger King after he killed 9 people in a church?
Come on.
But you put your neck on George Floyd. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, man walked in a place. No one even knew who this man was. And he shot 9 people. And then he stops at McDonald's and get a hamburger. Burger King got a hamburger. And then what got me to South Carolina, so funny. I guess they thought that people weren't gonna find out. They went and confiscated the tape.
Yeah. Yeah.
But luckily, Burger King had a backup tape that they didn't know anything about it.
Yes, sir.
They got for the ram in the bush. You understand what I'm saying? And what I'm saying to you is that that's just how cavalier they were about him killing black folk.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. We have another phone call. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, Raheen? It's Kurt, man. Baltimore City, baby.
Man, what's going on?
Baltimore City.
Man, we're talking about is capitalism a form of racism? Is capitalism a form of racism? What do you say to that?
Like I've said before to you, I think the two go hand to hand, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Given how you use them and how you apply them. I forget the way that I explained it. If you can remember, help me out here. You know what I mean? But capitalism can be used to promote racism, and racism is being used to promote capitalism. This thing goes back, for those that don't know, this thing goes back to what the white man did was, it was brilliant what he did. I mean, although it was completely heinous and wrong, but it was brilliant. What he did was, ever since the start of slavery in this country, what the white man has done is created what they would call intergenerational wealth, right? And what he did was he created that intergenerational wealth strictly from the perspective of him being able to gain the wealth and the Africans losing wealth or not even being able to gain any form of generational wealth. So basically, through capitalism, he used it as a means to lift up his family while all at the same time decreasing the value of the black family. So basically, if we was running a 400 meter, he actually set it up to where he starts out halfway around the track, and the black folk started in the parking lot. So realistically, we'll never actually be able to catch up to his wealth because he started the race so far ahead of everyone else. I'm saying, capitalism, we all are capitalists at the end of the day. I mean, capitalism is nothing but the quest to make money.
Obtain money. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to obtain some money.
Mm-hmm.
Once you put racism in there and the many aspects of racism, what happens is you limit the ability of a given person to make capital. So how did they do that? Well, there's several ways they did it. The prison industrial complex, redlining. I mean, there's so many different things, man. This show would have to be at least a 4-hour to a 6-hour show. So what has happened is, for years, the how can I put this? For years, the paperwork, like Pastor Neil was just talking about, the tapes were being extracted and covered up. Now that we live in the age of information, the information is now becoming available not only for people to see, but for folks who knew it already to say, I told y'all they was lying. Listen, this is what has been really going on. So, now we find out that this whole racism thing, man, in my opinion, hey y'all, it's all about dollars and cents, man.
Okay, hold right there for a second. Let me go. Hold on for a second. Let me pull out Minister Neil. What's on your heart? We put a lot.
Hey, what's going on, Kurt?
What's up, brother?
All right. But again, he's right, because but at the same token, when he was saying about that generational wealth, you got to think a lot of those, even from slave owners, and you got to think you got look at 2020, you have white families that are still benefiting from slave products because they took that money. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. Think about Jack Daniels. He stole the recipe from one of his slaves.
Yep.
You think about Colonel Sanders in the KFC. That's why I'm walking to a KFC right now after I find out that he actually stole that from a black man. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we have to look at this thing and find out and look at just that was just two. That's not even talking about some of the other things they have cornered that we don't even know anything about. We just talking about just two companies that we know that publicly has admitted that, hey, you know what, we was some wrongdoing here. But the crazy part about it is that they have yet compensated the slaves' families. But their families, but their families still that money still is handed down. It's handed down like a family crest every time. Every time. And that's the reason what he's saying is so right. And so that's one of the reasons. That's why capitalism is so deadly in a lot of ways. It's good, but it is deadly. I tell you, it was something that one of my older cat used to tell me all the time. He say they call us drug dealers and it makes it sound bad, but they call the Italians mafia.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but they doing it. They selling the same. They selling the same product.
Same thing.
But because they selling it, you understand what I'm saying? They sell it. They give it to us wholesale. They sell it to our people. But instead, we'll call drug dealers. They call the mafia.
What's the difference? Where lies the difference?
Right. Again, so when people say all lives matter, in what way? Explain to me how.
I just had a conversation while I was here on that apostle I was talking to y'all about. He actually went on my post. If y'all don't know who it is, go on my post. He unfriended me now. I guess he got mad at me. He unfriended me. But I was telling him, I said, man, look here, what you saying is not true. You know, and he said, well, Black Lives, God says he loved everybody and this and this. And I came back at him. I said, well, listen, somewhere I read where it says, if my people who are called by my name should humble themselves. I say, that's not say if everybody who are called by my name. Say my people who are called by my name should humble themselves. It never didn't say if everybody. I say, so everybody is not his people. You got to understand that. I'm not going to sit here and say this black people and white people. I'm not going to say that, but what I will say is he said in the word, it said, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways. My people, if my people, he didn't say if everybody. See, God know what he's saying. He know what he didn't say if. And Ricky, I want you to. I need you on this. He didn't say if everybody who was called. No, he didn't say that. He said my people who are called by my name. Help me out, Ricky.
Because the reason when he's saying that, because he's distinctly saying, it's like when he said, you know my people by the fruit they bear. Again, he distinguishing who his people are. Like we were talking this morning about that, holding that flame. Holding that fire. I mean, we just talked about that this morning.
Sure
and we talk about it over and I'll tell you over in Leviticus 6. And one thing about it, we have to be keepers of the flame.
Yeah.
And that's what the Bible's telling us. So when that happens, when people say, well, I mean, even for him to I don't know, dear brother, and my heart goes out to him, and I have no problem with it. But for him to say for him to even befriend you on Facebook, that says that it's something else going on. It's another underline there. So my dear brother, you know, I, if anything, reach out and say, hey man, you know what? Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Because at this time we need all brothers on deck. We don't need nobody straying away. We don't need nobody. So honestly, when he say my people, he's telling you by the fruit you bear.
Yeah.
If you're not bearing good fruit, that's the reason why over in the Bible, and I tell people I live my life as Jesus was when he walked to Jerusalem. and he saw that fig tree. He said, "Man, every time I walk past here, I'm hungry,
Yeah.
and you not giving good fruit." He said, "I'm sick of this tree." They say that Bible say he cursed that tree,
Yes, sir.
and it withered away and it died. I would never want to be that tree.
Come
So
on.
let's sit back and think about what it is that we actually is it personal? Because that sounds to me like that's personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the topic. That's personal. That's something else. That's some underlying issues that my dear brother's having. But
And I
we're gonna pray for him. We're gonna pray for him, and we're gonna let him know, hey, Doc, you know what? Hey, you still in the fold. You still here with us because we understand that everybody goes through these things where we might not see everything the same way. Like for me, you hear me say it all the time. You know I'm telling the truth about this. You met two people from Jacksonville,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
like night and day.
Yeah.
Like night and day. It's
Exactly.
because it's how we grew up and how I see the world. You understand what I'm saying? So I mean that's what we have to understand.
I told him, and the last thing I posted about him, and I left it right there. I say, you are the worst form of racist. You're the worst form of racist because for you to sit there and he say he's black, he said he's Latino, he said he's Jewish, he said he's white, he said he got all those things in him, and so who just called? Okay, I got to call him back. And my thing is there's a piece or a part of you that's hating the black part of you that you don't want to see, you don't want to recognize what's really going on, man. Because how can you live in a world with blinders on? You have to see what's going on. You have to see what's going on. It's right before you. Go ahead, Kurt.
Well,
Donald, coming to you next.
Check this out, right? Check this out, right? I need somebody to explain to me why speaking on a Black Lives Matter platform, why are people taking that negatively because somebody is saying Black Lives Matter? If I say Black Lives Matter, that don't mean that I don't believe that all lives matter.
Exactly.
See, that's a ploy of that's a ploy of Satan.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
that division and set that line in between. Because I'm saying Black Lives Matter, that don't mean that I don't believe that all lives matter, but I believe at this moment that the Black lives are adversely being affected.
Come on.
In some way or the other. That's like me saying, okay, how can I put this, man? Okay, if we took just on a sports level, if I said the Cleveland Browns need to get themselves together, I'm not saying that all the NFL teams need to get themselves together. I'm specifically speaking about the Cleveland Browns. There's obviously some things going on that shows us that the Cleveland Browns is the sorriest team in the NFL.
Yes.
There's some things going on there that show us that. So when you say Black Lives Matter, you're saying that right now the populace is not showing you, or the populace is demonstrating to you, the populace at large is demonstrating to you that there is something in society that lacks the respect in terms of Black lives. I'll tell you something that really gets up under my skin in terms of the hypocrisy in all of this. Those same Black folk will sit right in front of your face and say that Black folks don't deserve no reparations. But those are the same Black folk that won't speak out against Jewish reparations. I don't understand the conundrum here. First off, you have two Holocausts, in which one Holocaust, 6 million people died, and in the other Holocaust, 100 million people died. You have a continued Holocaust for 400 years, in which the other group of folk, their Holocaust stopped in 1948. They were given a whole entire country. We ain't even going to talk about how the Palestinians got took Because the true story is this, Raheen. The true story is when Nazism and the Third Reich started to kill off an onslaught of Jews, the Jewish refugees had nowhere to go. So basically, the UN, what would become the UN, basically agreed to pay the Palestinians basically rent to allow for the Jews to come there. Once the Jews got there, they stopped paying the Palestinians and gave the money to the Jews, to the Jewish sanctions, gave the money to them and propped them up with weapons and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 made them a Jewish state. So for years, the Palestinians, when the so-called UN stopped paying them, that's when the Americans came and said, well, look, we'll pick up the tab. But then nobody paid the Palestinians. They just kept funding the Jews. Even until today, every 3 years or so, every 3 years, there's a big meeting. I forget what it's called. And in that meeting, the UN, that's everybody, sits down and they tell the German government if their reparations is going to go up or if it's going to go down, if it's going to decrease. So every year, every 3 years, we sat down in a meeting and we tell the Germans, no, you got to pay some more reparations to the Jews.
Wow.
The hypocrisy in this is you got folk who saying that black folk don't deserve no reparations and this, that, and the third. Blah, blah. Why should I have to pay for something that I didn't do? Okay, well, the people that say you wasn't alive in 1948, you wasn't alive during World War II, but you paying for what the Germans did to the Jews. You see what I'm saying? You ain't speaking against that. So to me, you know, I just laugh at it. It's hypocrisy. How can you be against one thing, but you for another thing? That's the same exact situation.
Absolutely. Donna,
you know,
Donna, are you still with us? Donna, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm here.
Coming to your phone. There you go. Donna, I want to ask you a question. And it's piggybacking on what Kurt just said. And Kimberly, we lost you, Kimberly. If you're available, call back in. But Donna, how great? Cause your president always talking about make America great again. And I need to ask you this question: how great would America be had not we come here?
It wouldn't be none.
Right here, America wouldn't exist.
Come on.
Not at all. Not at all. Because
America would not exist.
Hold on, Kurt. Hold on, Kurt.
I'm holding on. I'm sorry, Donald. Square, man. I'm sorry, man.
You're good, man. We about to say the same thing. I mean, look, they couldn't do it on their own. So they went with capital and bought some people like it was cattle to get it done. Paid the price for it. Made it laws. See what happened?
But Donna, see the thing about that, and I'm in total agreement with what you're saying. But they treat the cattle better than they treat us, man.
Of course, because the cattle don't run their mouth.
Wow.
The cattle don't.
Wow.
The cattle don't talk. They don't have a voice. They don't fight. They don't run. But we did. So put it in law. If they run, go get them. Bring them back.
Exactly.
You hear what I'm saying? Put it in paper, because they had the money, they had the funds to do it. They manipulated it. And if you remind them of that,
so America would not be great. So America would not be great had we not come here.
We'll still be shooting bow and arrow.
Look, Raheen.
Go ahead,
Raheen.
Kurt. Yes, sir. Go ahead, man.
we gonna tell an inconvenient truth. All right, we're gonna tell an
Oh
inconvenient
my
truth because I'm really getting sick and tired of every time there's a picture painted of American patriotism. It's always painted as our Caucasian brothers are the most patriotic dudes and this, that, and the third. Listen, man. Listen. It is the biggest lie told since Jesus Christ was a white man. It is the biggest lie told. America, name one war, not a battle, a war that America has won without the black man. I'll wait.
You'll be waiting a long time, brother. You'll be waiting a long time.
It ain't, brother, it ain't never happened.
I want to say now.
The other day we was on the radio and I said to y'all, I said, look, I said, I hope folks know that slavery was abolished 3 times prior to 1865.
Yeah.
Judge Washington, yep, sure did.
It was abolished 3 times prior to 1865.
Judge Washington did it, yep.
It was abolished. Exactly. It was abolished for the Revolutionary War.
Judge Washington did it, yep.
And abolished it again in 1833. Then they turned around and abolished it again in 1848. Well, why did they abolish it in 1833 and 1848? Because they needed soldiers to fight. They was getting their hind parts whooped. If you did not have what is called the Tuskegee Airmen, World War II would have been totally different. Because in order to defeat the Third Reich, you had to get into Berlin. They had sent bomber squad after bomber squad after bomber squad after bomber squad to try and get into Berlin. You had to cut off the head of the snake. They sent all those bomber squads in, and not now one of them was able to get in or even get close before they was either turned around and had to retreat or they was blown out the sky. The Tuskegee Airmen is the ones who led the first and only true bombing campaign of Berlin. Led them B-1 bombers in there so they could drop them bombs because they needed to cut the head off the snake. It was the Tuskegee Airmen, black pilots.
Ricky, go ahead, Ricky.
The Buffalo Soldiers is the reason why we was able to win. I want to say it's the War of 1812 and the war in 1833 and the skirmish we had in 1848.
Spanish-American War, what you talk about.
Same thing.
Spanish-American War, yeah. Because you got to think, Teddy Roosevelt stole the Rough Riders from the black man. Because you got to think that's where he got that from. When they were saying Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders, that was not his troops' name. He got that from those black. What happened was that when they got in there, they had to get some ex-black slaves to come in there who was helping them, and they would be called the Rough Riders because how they attacked the Spanish-American War. That's how Teddy Roosevelt got so famous. That's why a lot of people are now saying that they need to take down a lot of his statues because a lot of the history that they have painted for they have related to the lie they have been telling about him.
Come on.
It's untrue. So no one never knew that a lot of those you look at a lot of his statues, even when he with his troops, are with white men. But they said his cavalry was 80% black because he said he never seen troops move that fast and that swift and that strong during the time of in those conditions. Because a lot of times those men didn't eat. You got that they ex-slaves, they were used to not eating and still working from sun up to sundown. So their bodies were conditioned to be a certain kind of way. So what he's saying is so true. I mean, people don't even know George Washington signed a decree. A lot of people are like, oh, for real? Like, yeah, do your history. He's so right. That's the first time I had ever heard where he actually tried to make a deal with slaves, said we would set you free. And then after they won the Revolutionary War, they lied and put them back in slavery.
Going back in slavery. Absolutely.
Send them back in slavery. They
lied to him.
Man.
They lied to him.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Civil War. Why you think they had to go to? Why do you think they was raiding those plantations and getting those slaves off those plantations? the Union soldiers knew exactly what they were doing. They knew they had some people that who was willing and who was strong enough to endure the conditions that they were dealing with. That's the most unique thing about black folk. We can adapt to any condition that you put us in.
Exactly.
That's one of the most marvelous things about it. That's why I tell people, I says, it's not that uh, uh, white America don't like us. What it is, white America see the power that we possess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Come on. Come on.
That's
Good deal.
that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Donald, what's on your heart, brother?
You know, they just taking down and making them change the legislation to get rid of Mississippi's flag, state flag.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
I saw
rebel
that.
flag,
Mm-hmm.
which they waved because of a battle that they lost.
Mm-hmm.
They lost that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wow.
you're proud of the flag, but you lost that battle.
Mm-hmm.
And that battle was about slavery.
Well, you know what they say.
Whether or not
They quick to say, Donald, that the South is gonna rise again. They're quick to say that now.
yeah,
That's what they say.
they didn't rise the first time. But you know what? The truth be told, man.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the South ain't never failed. White Southerners tradition failed.
Mm-hmm.
The South ain't never failed.
Mm-hmm.
Every time when you look in terms of capital, the South has always been a place that has always had enough space and enough opportunity to where capital can be made.
Hey, Kurt,
All right.
let's equate this to a sports situation. If there's somebody you coaching, and you know there's somebody on your team that has the potential, the skill level to be the superstar of the team and to go out, be the MVP, win the championship for y'all and everything, Kurt. But only problem is the person is lazy and don't want to commit to putting in the work. Is that the situation that the South was in? They have all the potential, but they just never put in the work.
Here's what it was, man. The problem in the South is that the South has forever had the wrong coaching staff.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Players, here's my opinion, man. People, as brilliant as we can be, people are like sheep.
Mm-hmm.
All right? A lot of people believe that sheep are easy to lead. They're not. If you're a good shepherd, you'll recognize that you're only as good as your ability to pay attention to your sheep.
Mm-hmm.
The sheep and the shepherd work together. Okay? What has happened is the South has had shepherds who realistically had no concern whatsoever for the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Their only concern was how much wool this sheep is going to produce, how much milk this sheep is going to produce, how much land this sheep is going to clear.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea is that the basic power structure of the South has been misleading the people, has been misleading the sheep for years.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of misleading those sheep, the shepherd has now run into the wolf.
Ricky?
Instead of listening, and it's like being a football coach. If I'm coaching football and I'm calling this one particular play or this one set of plays, and my quarterback is coming to the sideline, he's saying to me, "Hey, coach, look, man, hey, you know, they drifting real heavy, strong side, man. So, you know, we're gonna have to trap this thing out, or hey, coach, you know what I mean? I need to peel to the weak side. We need to start calling something to the weak side. If I continue to call to the strong side, I will not be effective, and I will eventually wind up getting somebody hurt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, the South has always been able to survive in a capitalistic society because of the resources that you all have.
Mm-hmm.
The North has always been able to survive by selling and or making money off of the resources that the South had. So you got one part of the country, honestly, the way I break it down is you got one part of the country that's tactical, and you got one part of the country that's technical.
Mm-hmm.
The two work together. But I remember something my father told me, man. My daddy told me this years ago. I didn't understand it until I got grown. And once I got grown, I now understand it. I put it in a film that I wrote. My daddy told me years ago, he said, capitalism without a conscience is corruption. Whenever you have a capitalistic society that operates outside of its conscience, there will always be corruption.
Good deal. Hold on, Kurt.
If you look at what you got going.
Hold, let me pull some more people. Hold on, hold that thought, brother. I want to go to Ricky. What's on your heart, brother? I see you responding to a lot he's saying over there.
I mean, what he said is on point because I think that we have actually been I ain't gonna say dealt a bad hand, but I think that we have been on some poor leadership in a lot of ways. And when we're looking at it from the perspective of from a team perspective, it's difficult to be on a team when you're not in uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because I think that that's one of the things that we're lacking is the ability to wear the same uniform. And what I mean by that is that we're not moving in the same direction because sometimes what he's saying is so true that the North capitalize on the resources of the South because they shipped it like again they shipped it up north. It's like we were talking about with slavery, with the cotton and the potatoes and the peas and the tobacco and things of that nature. They've all Marlboro and all those people. You got to think all these people who have capitalized on these big companies have capitalized on the labor of the Southerners. But now we at a point now that it's at a point. That's why I tell people, I says the experience of a black man in the South is different than it is in the North.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like night and day. You would never ever understand it, even though racism is across the board. But it's different when you're in the South. I mean, when I moved here to Georgia, it's different.
Yeah.
Georgia's a different beast. Now I'm from Florida, and Florida's very racist. But Georgia, this is a different beast. I've never seen anything where they promote the. I remember I asked a lady one time. She was like, "We should wear our flag, and we can wear the rebel flag because that's our right." I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's funny how that's your right." And you're right. It's your right to wave that flag. But do you know in the Constitution, if you talking about you so American, if you really know the Constitution tells you that anytime you fly any flag other than the American flag on American soil, you're denouncing the American flag.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you see police officers and you see the military with American flags. They don't have the Confederate flag beside it because you can't wave it. So my whole thing is that in their psychologically in their mind, they feel like they in two different Americas.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they can say the South shall rise again, because in their mind, they thinking it's two different Americas.
Wow. Donald, what's on your heart, brother? We're ready to get out of here in just a second, but what's on your heart, Donald?
Yeah, man, I'm just learning a lot, listening, but you know, there is a sketch going on that's being exposed, and it's wide open. Everybody see it, every nationality, every color, and the only thing to do is do the right thing, man. We can beat this bush around, but I don't want to see my grandkids fight the same fight my grandfather fought. That don't make no sense.
Exactly.
So it's not the time to back up. Either we stand still or go forward.
Ricky, let me ask you this question: Should we celebrate being able to climb the same trees that our ancestors hung from?
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you why I said it, because if you really and truly don't know where you come from, you're not know where you're not gonna have an idea, or you're not gonna have a plan, or you're not gonna have a desire to go, to go forward. So you definitely need to embrace the past. And I say that to people all the time. It's just like, I give a prime example. One of the things that really irritates me when I hear saints say, uh, I don't like all them old hymns. Sweetheart, them old hymns is what got you to this day, to this second, to this hour. If you really and truly listen to some of them hymns, when they sing a song that we sang all the time with this 244 in an old Negro that red hymn, that's an old Negro hymn. And I used to be a deacon, so I know them hymns. And 244 was Pass Me Not, Old Gentle Savior.
Come on.
They were singing that, but so they were trying to hear my humble cry when they was in slavery. They saying, look, I need for you to hear me while I'm down here being depressed and being oppressed, while I'm down here being mistreated, while I'm sitting at this lunch counter trying to integrate, and they beating me and they cursing at me and they ripping my women and they hanging my brothers and my sisters. These are the things to understand. See, so when we need to embrace it. We have a tendency. It's like I tell people, I says, you know why I tell people, I say, you know why we always say, well, I don't eat pork, I don't eat this. I said, like, do you understand that in the book, I can show you in the book of Exodus, when God told them when he told Moses to take the two animals, y'all don't know, pigs was included. They was included. So when we talk about, oh, I don't do this, sometimes you don't do it. I mean, I'm fine with it. Do what you want to do. But what I'm saying to you, don't be so ugly and arrogant to try to downplay what somebody else is doing. Because what we are saying is that we're not embracing who we are. Believe it or not, we're known for doing that. We're known for eating a certain kind of way. Is it right? No, I don't eat it because for health reasons.
My trunk.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on, Ricky. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Kimberly.
Hey, Kimberly, how you doing? You been listening in to us, sister? What's on your heart right now?
If it's on the same about capitalism.
Yes.
Let me say this. I'm a born again believer. But I also do. In the professional world, I understand that America has been very deceitful because they've used both against each other. After they rob and pillage and give themselves a license to use capitalism or say this is market society, after they've damaged people, then they come back and say, you have to forgive me because you're a Christian. And I think that becomes very diabolical in its nature, because Black people are always trying to find a way to forgive America for its atrocities, only for them to go back into the same patterns again of free market. And what happens is somehow or another the market ends up in their hands and not ours. And it's very disturbing because I'm from North Carolina, where they did eugenics. They did eugenics, and they sterilized the women in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And some of my women in my family became, a part of that eugenics issue, regulated and operated by the state of North Carolina. They just paid us back. They just paid family members back for what they did. However, I had family members who were Christians who refused to go get the money because they had forgave the state of North Carolina years ago.
Mm.
So there you go, mixing forgiveness. At the end of the day, they would say, "We forgave." But if Juju stole their car, they wouldn't have forgave him. He would have went to jail, and Juju would have got whatever was coming to him, and they might have talked about his mama for not raising him right. The other issue is that in the morning they would have been singing. They would have been singing Shirley Caesar, taking back everything the devil stole from me.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm from North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina too.
But in the same breath, they too scared to go and get what the state of North Carolina owns.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm from North Carolina as well, from Greensboro. And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say it like this here, girl. Y'all better go get that money. Stop playing. Better, Ricky. What you say to that?
I mean, what you said is so true, because they ready to lay the hammer down when it comes to one of us. But they're quick to embrace America. Things going to be fine. I mean, you hear. The reason why I was saying it, because I was listening to a pastor talk one day. He said we have to love one another, even in your enemies. I said, yeah, but I ain't read nowhere where it said we got to forget, because I'm gonna tell you, if a dog bite me, I'm not gonna forget how it felt when I got bit.
Come on.
And my grandmother would always tell me, she says, Ricky, it's not what you said that they're not forgiving. It's how you made them feel when you said it, they hadn't forgave. Because you can really damage some people behind some of your actions and some of your words, to the point that they just like, I'm good. I know a couple people. I mean, I don't preach around the world. I don't preach in Oregon and all kind of places. But it's some people I just don't fool with, because I don't trust them.
Yeah.
And I know how they made me feel. And that's something that God has to deal with me with. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but at the same token, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and lie to God and tell you, oh, I forgave, but I'm still in the back of my mind, you really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
You've been forgiven, but I can't forget how you made me feel. Exactly. And that's what's happening.
That's good. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother? We got some background noise coming on from somebody's line. Everybody mute your line. We got some background noise coming from somebody's line. Mute your line for me.
That's me right here, because I'm out in the community today.
Okay.
But listen, this hypocrisy is so obvious that you can try and hide it or try and cover it up. You can't. Even in their own documentation, bro. I want to say it was Lyndon Baines Johnson. I could be wrong, but because it might have been Richard Nixon, that commissioned the governor of Illinois. His last name was Kerner. To get with a series of other governmental bureaucrats and other governors, and they came up with what is called the Kerner Commission. The Kerner Commission was charged to file a report saying what is the real problem going on in America. I want to say it was Richard Nixon. The Kerner Commission, a commission of white males, gave to the president and to the country their final report. In that final report, it stated the biggest threat to America and the government thereof is racism. This their own people.
Yeah.
That report was commissioned. It was sanctioned by the Supreme Court. It was sanctioned by judges and other governing bodies sanctioned this report to be true. And they told the president that if these things are not addressed, it will cause a serious level of disparity in the African American community. Anybody want to read it? You can Google it. It's called the Kerner Commission.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
After they gave the report, you know, they just kind of threw that out there.
Mm-hmm.
They just threw it out the window like these guys did this report. No, the governor of Illinois was the chairperson of the commission. Mm-hmm. Racism in America has always been based off of dollars and cents. Mm-hmm. See, it's that man's greed. It's always been based off of dollars and cents. And it reminds me of, you know, sometimes when you're watching a movie, movies can give you they can give you a clear idea. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Roadhouse?
Nah, that one, huh?
It's a movie with Patrick Swayze. He's a bouncer. He's this a nationally known bouncer that comes with this team. The guy called him in to come in and get his club straight. Well, he get there, and the town folk, they love him.
Mm-hmm.
But the town folk been being ruled by, you know how it is in the South, Raheen. Mr. Callahan owned most of the land.
Mm-hmm.
So he befriends this guy who owns a tool store, like a hardware store. And he's speaking to the guy, and he asking the guy about, man, look, why do y'all allow this to happen? Like, you know, why did you let this man just send his goons in here and blah, blah, blah? And the man looked at him and said, well, you know, all I do is lease this property. Callahan owns it. And if I speak against him, he'll burn down my business. You know, I'm saying, you know what I mean? So what you got is, you got a sanctioned body in this country that is controlling all of the capital, controlling who get it and who don't get it. And if you put a man in a position to where you're going to take food off of his table and he can no longer feed his children, or he can't take care of his wife, his responsibilities, you put him in a situation where he got to choose. He's going to choose taking care of his family.
Okay. And let me say, we're good to get out of here, man. You're absolutely right. We're good to get out of here, man. But Kurt, you from up north, man, and you ain't supposed to say the down south words, man. Chillins, man. Wait a minute now, brother. you ain't allowed that, man. You from up north. Hold on, bro.
I keep trying to hold on, man. You ain't gonna do me like that, man. Listen, I keep trying to tell you my family was the Beverly Hillbillies now. I keep trying to tell you that. Man, what you mean, bro?
Y'all, can't feed his chillins. I said, oh Lord. Hey.
Man, I need to bring you to the family cookout so you can see for yourself.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering, brother. You know, I know you're up north up there, man. So, and then when you break out words like chillins, hey, Kimberly, you there? I think we might have lost Kimberly. But listen, we're going to get out of here. Before I do that, Donald, what's on your heart before we leave, brother? What's on your heart?
No, not too much, man. I just heard. Did I hear her say juju?
Yeah, you did. Yes, sir. You sure you did. Listen, we're about to get out of here, man. It's been a great broadcast, man. I want to thank everybody for joining us for the Raheen Ashimi show. We don't do this show often, but when we do, man, we have conversations like this, man. I love it when we do. Ricky Neal, I need you to do me an honor, brother. Will you pray us out?
Yes, sir. Let's seek the cross. Blessed, gracious, and wonderful Father, we are taking the time out to you, to King Jesus, just to say thank you for our lives and thank you for this conversation. Lord, we thank you that we have listened to one another, that we're able to fellowship, that we're able to be in the fold one more time. Lord, we ask you for your grace and mercy to continue to pour upon our lives and upon our spirit and upon our minds. And as we take this walk, Father God, we ask you to be our beacon in the darkness. Lord, we ask you right now to be our light, to be the strength for us, to be our our defender, Lord, to be our shield, to be our battle like in the time of a battle. But Lord, we ask you right now in the name of Jesus that tonight that we ask you right now to set your people free that are caught between two opinions. But Lord, we ask you right now in the name of Jesus to strengthen the ones that are weak right now, Father God, that has no answer. But we know that when we call on the name of Jesus, that no one would answer will arrive, that God will appear. So
Yes.
we ask you right now, Lord, to continue to strengthen them, Lord, to give them guidance, to give them the preparation to walk into a world that's not friendly right now, Father God, that the world is not loving right now, Lord, that a world is not a coming of us right now. Lord, because we know that, Lord, when it's yours to call, Lord, it's for us to answer. Lord, we already know that you will lift up to your kingdom. We ask you right now, Lord, to continue to strengthen each and every one that was on this panel, that was able to strengthen everyone that was able to hear us in this moment. We give you all the honor and all the glory. And the Bible has declared that when Jesus has already come and when he's coming again, we ask you right now to lift up to your kingdom, Father God, and you crown each other with us. In the blessed sweet name of King Jesus, I do pray. Amen, amen, amen.
Amen. Amen. Man, been a great broadcast. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DCAM Media Group and Associates and Raheen Ashimi Show to be a part of your morning. It is now 9. Wow. It is now 11:05. 11:05. You're about to exit the Raheen Ashimi Show. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the Raheen Ashimi Show. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Y'all have a great day. And
Stay out those streets. Stay out those streets now.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all have a great one now. That's Ricky. That's Ricky Neal acting up over there. I don't know what we're gonna do with him. Don't know what we're gonna do with him. Y'all have a great one. Love you.
All right, peace, fellas.
Yeah.